Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is a noob's guide to raid pets. Let's go! Okay, noob's guide to raid pets is fairly straightforward. This is a breakdown of every single raid and what bosses drop which pets, what drop chance it actually is, and what are the current EU and US mean prices for them. So that being the case, let's start the video. Okay, so this one is for the Molten Core, and this is from the boss Golmag. Golmag drops the Ashstone Core battle pet, and this one is a 14% drop chance. Its EU actual price is around about 137 gold. Its US is around about 250 gold. There are obviously other bosses that actually provide in this dungeon with battle pets, and that is the Magmador. I can't even read my own writing. And he drops the Core Fire Imp at 14% drop chance, and his EU mean is around about 170 gold and 275 for the US. Now there is the Sulfuron Harbinger, and he drops the Harbinger of Flame. This is a 13% drop chance for 260 gold or 224 for the US. Remember that mean prices are actually the average across the EU and US servers, so take this with a grain of salt. So remember, this is just an average, so you would have to double check your auction house just before this actually shows up, but the prices shouldn't vary that much. Now, onto the Blackwing LAIR. The Blackwing LAIR has Chromagus with the Chrominius pet. Now, the Chrominius pet actually sells quite well, and this one is at a 22% drop chance for 594 gold, or for the US is 895 gold. The Brood Lord Lash LAIR is the third boss in the raid of Blackwing LAIR, and he drops the Death Talon Whelp. Now this is at a 16% drop chance and 282 gold for EU and 428 gold for US. Now we move on to the first boss. I should have really started with this for the Blackwing LAIR, but that is Razorgore the Untamed. And basically he drops the Untamed Hatchling at a 20% drop chance. Now this is around about 320 gold for the EU and a 398 gold for the US. We're now going to move on to the Temple of AHN'QIRAJ, and this one is the raid for Cthulhu. If you don't know where this is to the right, or this is to the bottom left of Silithus, as opposed to the Ruins of AHN'QIRAJ, which is a transmog farming spot, which is on the right, well, the bottom right. The boss in question, which we'll actually be farming, is the Emperor Veclor, and he drops the Anubish set Idol at an 18% drop chance. This goes from anywhere from around about 3,289 gold on an EU mean, or around about 4,205 gold for the US mean. Now we do have the first boss in this raid, and this is Prophet Skerum, and he drops the Mini Mindslayer battle pet. The Mini Mindslayer battle pet drops at a 14% drop chance, and it roughly averages out to around about 464 gold for the EU and 413 gold for the US. Now last but not least on this actual raid is Vicidus, and he drops the Vicidus Globule at a 25% drop chance. Now obviously this boss is a bit of a beast to actually try and kill, because you will need to provide frost damage. I would recommend that you actually use the enchantment for elemental force on a low tier weapon and go in and provide that frost damage in order to take him out and kill him. Otherwise, if you don't go in there with any frost damage at all, you will not be able to kill him, and you will be very, very annoyed at that fact. Remember that the EU mean is around about 13,000 gold, and the US mean is around about 13,000 gold, 200 gold as well. Now, that being the case, let's get on to NAXXRAMAS. Okay, so NAXXRAMAS is a really weird one because it's got loads of different wings and quarters and all that jazz. So to make it easier, you just throw up your adventurer's guide, you find out which boss you actually need. You could do this on any one of these raids to actually find these battle pets, so you can just go straight to that boss, kill him, and see if you got it. So the first one is Lotharbeb. I'm just going to write his name at the top right there. Okay, and he drops the Fungal Abomination, and this is at 21% drop chance for 424 gold EU, or 891 mean for the US. The next one is NAXXRAMAS, which is that giant spider last boss of the Arachnid Quarter. I know this boss because I remember in the old days of Wrath of the Lich King of trying to actually take him out with my guild, and we couldn't do it, and I got very, very frustrated because I was a holy paladin. But that being the case, he drops the giant bone spider at a 22% drop chance. The EU mean is around about 635 gold, and the US mean is around about 780 gold. The last boss of this actual raid is Gulf, and he drops the Stitched Pup at a 21% drop chance for 589 gold or 608 gold US. Okay, so the next raid on our farming list is KARAZHAN, and KARAZHAN actually has quite a few bosses, and I personally love KARAZHAN because it actually provides me with a lot of decent transmog as well as doing this farm. The battle pets that you actually find are the battle pets in question will come from Terrastain Illhoof, and he drops the Fiendish Imp. At an 11% drop chance, this is rather good. For the EU, it sells for around about 4,400 gold, and for the US mean is around about 6,100 gold for the US. Now, the next one is the Big Bad Wolf, and he is one of 3 different bosses that you can have at that opening stage thing. Basically, you know when you like do the Romeo and Julieta thing, like, you know, like you go on stage and you have to fight the bosses there, you get a chance at the Big Bad Wolf, and he drops the Little Bad Wolf at a 10% drop chance, and it sells for around about the mean average of around about 2,000 gold or 1,900 gold for the US. The next boss that actually drops a battle pet is the Curator, and he drops the Menagerie Custodium at a 10% drop chance. The EU average on this is around about 1,700 gold, and for the US is around about 2,500 gold. The last boss of this actual raid is Prince Malkazar, and obviously not many people want to do the chess event, so they usually skip that last boss. This is why the battle pet actually costs so much. Now, he drops the Nether Space Abyssal, and this drops at an 11% drop chance for 7,300 gold for the EU or 9,000 gold for the US. Personally, I love running KARAZHAN, and I always do the chess event, so if you find it boring, just go through it and just keep spamming 2, I think. Basically, just keep spamming the attack thing and you just win the chess event, like, hands down. You don't really need to think to do it anymore. But other than that, guys, the next one is the Serpentshrine Caverns. And the first battle pet I want to cover is the last boss of this raid, and that is Lady Vash. And she drops the Coil Fang Stalker at a 5% drop chance. This battle pet actually sells for on the EU for around about 7,200 gold, or the US for 9,100 gold. The next boss, or maybe the first boss of this instance, is Hydros, and he drops the Tainted Waveling at a 10% drop chance. This sells from anywhere from around about 2,000 gold EU or around about 3,200 for the US. Now, last but not least is Morrowgrim, and he's that massive sea giant that is on the basically to the side where you find that Demon Hunter boss and all that jazz in the actual Serpentshrine Cavern. But he drops the Tide Skipper for 13% drop chance for 5,800 gold. The next on the US is around about 6,600 gold, and personally I find this quite good. Obviously you don't have to fish up that optional boss with the fishing rod anymore, so you can just go straight to Lady Vash. So basically go to Hydros, then go far to the far left, kill Morrigan, and then kill Lady Vash at the end. Remember that Lady Vash is just try and nuke her as fast as possible, because if you kill her outright before she goes immune, you don't have to do a little event type thing that's a real pain in the arse. You won't die, but it's just a pain in the arse to do. But that being the case, let's move on to Tempest Keep. And pretty much the boss that doesn't actually drop a battle pet is Kelthus. All three of the other bosses drop a battle pet, but obviously Kelthus drops the Ashes of Allah, so if you're doing this, you might as well try and get your chance of getting it. Unlike me, who actually already has the Ashes of Allah, so I really don't need to worry about that. But other than that, Solarin on the far right hand side of Tempest Keep, or better known as the Eye, drops a lesser Void Cooler, which is drop chance is around about 13%. Sells for an EU mean for around about 7,200 gold, and for the US 9,100 gold. Now back to the first boss, which is Allah, who's that massive phoenix one that once you kill it once, it comes back, then you have to kill it again. But obviously really easy to just nuke. He drops the Phoenix Hatchling, and this drops at a 12% drop chance. This one actually sells for an EU mean for 800 gold, or 666, the number of the beast. US, basically. I couldn't help myself there. That was Iron Maiden reference, if you didn't know. And then we go on to the far left boss, which is the Void Reaver. He drops the Pocket Reaver at a 12% drop chance, and it sells from anywhere from around about 1,100 gold for the EU, or 1,600 gold for the US. Now on to Black Temple. Now Black Temple is one of my favourite raids, mainly because I never got to do it in BC, because I was shit, basically. I was bad. Like, I claim to be no way good at PvE. But let's get into the bosses. Okay, so for one of the biggest bosses in the actual game is Supremus, and he drops the Abyssus battle pet at an 11% drop chance. This sells from anywhere from around about 1,000 EU mean to 1,100 gold EU US mean. Okay, so that's really easy. You just go in there, nuke him, done. And you have the Reliquary of the Lost, and that's that big orb person with those three faces that show like desire, anger and suffering, and their battle pets actually show this quite well, as he drops at a 10% drop chance for all of them is the Fragment of Anger, which is the Fragment of Anger, which sells at 1,600 gold EU, or 7,300 gold US. I don't know why it jumps up so much there, but US, I would jump on it, see if it works. Other than that, you do have the Fragment of Desire, which sells for around about 1,300 gold EU, or 3,300 gold US. There is the last one, which is the Fragment of Suffering, and this sells for around about 2,300 gold on the EU, or 4,000 gold for the US. Personally, I don't know why these guys are selling for more on the US, but really, US guys, I would highly recommend going into Black Temple and just trying your luck. Okay, so for one of the bosses that you first encounter in this actual raid is Nagentus, and he drops the Leviathan Hatchling. Now, at 20% drop chance, its gold value actually shows quite reflectively on how well it is farmed. The EU actual gold value for this is about 290 gold, as opposed to the US, which is around about 525 gold. This boss is probably not worth even killing, because this battle pet is just pretty crap. Okay, so for the last boss of the Black Temple, and that is Mother Shiraz. She is in like the concubine quarter bit of the Black Temple as you're going over to Illidan, so you will obviously kill her on the way to Illidan to try and get your Warglaives, but she drops the Sister of Temptation at a 19% drop chance. Now this battle pet sells from anywhere on the EU for 540 gold mean, or 666 gold US. I'm going to refrain from actually doing that Iron Maiden thing again because I feel like a bit of a tard for actually doing it. But other than that, guys, there is more raids to come. And we have the HYJAL Summit, and this can be found in the Caverns of Time. I would highly recommend doing this one, as this gold value is ridiculous. Okay, so for the boss Asgalore, he drops the Battle Pet Grotesque at a 13% drop chance. It sells from anywhere on the EU for around about 5,100 gold, or the US for 6,800 gold. The last boss of this actual raid is Archimond, and he drops the HYJAL Wisp at a 22% drop chance. Now for the EU, this sells from anywhere from around about 5,800 gold, but for the US is around about 8,400 gold. Now again, for the US, I highly recommend this, and even for the EU, it's actually worth your time. Now for this, the last boss on this list for the raid is Anatherion for Stinkrot. Now Stinkrot is at a 17% drop chance, and the EU mean for him is 2,800 gold, whereas on the US it is 5,800 gold. Other than that, we're on to the Sunwell now, and we're going to go over to Entropis. And now Entropis actually drops the Chaos Pup, and its drop chance is actually unknown at this moment in time. Basically, I double checked a few sites. There isn't really a definitive answer for the drop chance for this battle pet, so I couldn't actually bring it into the list because I don't know the drop chance. So if you can find it somewhere, I'll be happy to remake this video. But on the EU, it actually sells for around about 2,800 gold, or the US for 2,700 gold. Now the Sunblade Micro Defender drops from Brutalis, and he is the second boss in this raid. Now this battle pet actually drops for 15% drop chance for 1,500 gold for the EU, or 3,300 gold on the US. I remember when this battle pet actually sold for around about 10,000 gold, and I'm pretty disappointed that it's dropped so much on the EU. May want to switch over to the US. But other than that, we have the two twin sisters with Alethris and Skellskarash. Basically, it's these two sisters that fight each other. They're like the third boss. No, they're like the fourth boss in this raid. So they drop the Wretched Servant with an unknown drop chance yet again, and it sells from anywhere from around about 600 gold for the EU mean, or 1,100 gold for the US mean. Now moving on to a Legion raid, and that is the Emerald Nightmare. The Emerald Nightmare actually has one battle pair in this, and that is from Yesondra. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. And basically she drops the Nightmare Whelpling for a 1% drop chance. This has an EU mean for around about 24,000 gold, or a US mean for around about 45,000 gold. Just pull a little raid group together. Go do it. Go. Other than that, we do have the Hellfire Citadel with one battle pet, and this one is from Shadow Lord Iskar, and he drops the Corrupted Nest Guardian at a 12% drop chance. Now for the EU mean, this drops at 12,000. This sells for around about 12,000 gold, or for the US around about 16,000 gold. Other than that, we are on to the Siege of Orgrimmar, and the Siege of Orgrimmar is relatively simple. Now with this one, you can go over to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, and you can pick and choose which part of the raid you want to do, and this is rather helpful when actually deciding on which battle pets you want to farm. Now for one of the bosses in this raid is the Siege Crafter Black Fuse, and he drops the Black Fuse Bombling at a 1% drop chance, and it sells from anywhere from around about 22,000 gold EU, or 35,000 gold US. Now we do have the Shah of Pride, but this varies on what difficulty you actually put it at, and I believe it is the heroic version drops the Droplet of Y'Shaarj, whereas the normal version drops the Gooey Sharling. Now for the Droplet of Y'Shaarj, it doesn't have a drop chance, and it sells for an EU mean of around about 43,000 gold, or for the US around about 79,000 gold. it's worth doing every week. And then the gooey Sharling actually doesn't have a drop chance as well, and this is quite a common theme with most of these battle pets in these raids going forward. And this sells for an EU mean of around about 18,000 gold or 27,000 gold for the US. Now we do have the KARAZHAN, the Wind Reaver boss, and he drops the KOVOK battle pet at an unknown drop chance for 23,000 gold EU mean or the 48,000 gold for the US. Now last and finally is the Throne of Thunder, and this is possibly one of my most favourite raids to do because the drop chances and what things sell for which is ridiculous. Okay, so that being the case, let's get into the bosses. We have Jakun, and he drops the Jakun hatchling at a 2% drop chance. The EU mean for this battle pet is around about 10,000 gold, whereas the US is exactly the same at 10,000 gold. We do have Primordius, and he has the same difficulty settings for this, as the heroic version will drop the living fluid, and the normal version will drop the vicious horror. And basically the living fluid doesn't have a drop chance, but the vicious horror has a 3% drop chance. The living fluid actually sells from an EU average of around about 81,000 gold, and the US is around about 122,000 gold. Go do Primordius heroic. But the vicious horror actually has a 3% drop chance at an EU average of around about 13,000 gold, and the US sells for around about 15,000 gold. Now on to the next boss, and that is the Sand Elemental, and he drops the living Sandling at a 1.7% drop chance. Now, providing that this drop chance is really crap, it's not actually worth an awful lot. It has an EU average of around about 580 gold, whereas the US is 805 gold EU mean. This is now onto the next one, which is Horadon, and he drops the Pygmy Direhorn. At an unknown drop chance, this sells for around about 5,800 gold EU, or around about 10,000 gold US. Now last but finally is the Dark Animus, and the Dark Animus actually drops the Son of Animus at a 2% drop chance. This battle pet sells on an EU mean for around about 13,000 gold, or the US version, which is around about 23,000 gold. That being the case, guys, that is every single battle pet that is in every raid, and what their mean prices are for EU and US, and if determined, their drop chance with them and what boss it drops from. Hopefully this is informative and it actually helps you in your farming, like what you're actually going to farm, and see if you can get them. I personally would always do the Siege of Orgrimmar and sometimes do the Throne of Thunder, depending on if I can be bothered or not. Obviously I'm a bit of a lazy gold farmer, but hopefully in the new year I should change that. But obviously I would recommend that these battle pets are worth your time, depending on which raids you actually do. Now I've given you this list in order to make your own minds up on which raids are actually viable for you. So obviously you've got your EU means, you've got your drop chances, and you can refer back to this whenever you want. Now this was an actual requested video by one of my subscribers, and to be honest, I actually read most of his comments all the time anyway. I do have a list actually somewhere in my room of basically all my subscribers that are most frequently commenting. I have a list out of them to look out for their comments, because I listen to their feedback a lot, because I know that they watch a lot of my videos. Just makes sense. And they asked a big favour and said, could you do this? And I thought I'd do this. But I must say, that is one list. That is another list. That is another list. And that is another list. There is a lot of data when it comes to actually finding out all of these guys, and to be honest, I really enjoyed it actually. I was sat down last night and I was just writing all of this stuff out and searching online and trying to find drop chances and EU means. By the way, all the EU means came from the Undermine journal, so if you've got a problem with that, then I don't understand you. But other than that, guys, I really hope that you like this video. Now, I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more like this, please feel free to give this video a like. And as always, have an awesome day, guys. Take it easy. Appreciate ya.
Yeah.